And now it's time for RoadWorthy Drive with Ken Chester.
Hey everybody, Ken Chester in studio for another hour of RoadWorthy Drive behind the scenes. Glad you could be with us here on the YouTube channel. In studio, as usual, the usual suspects, Jack at the controls.
Hello.
Sasha holding it down at mic 2, and yours truly. This hour on RoadWorthy Drive. Green cars in a carbon world, and we're not talking about the Green Hornet. Jack is disappointed. Ethics and statistics, problems, issues, and opportunities. It sounds boring, but we're talking about self-driving cars. They got to make decisions in certain situations. We talk about how they get there from here. And maybe if we have time, that little incident with a Chevy Bolt who hit a motorcyclist, but autonomously. But I digress. And then finally, most of what we do here at RoadWorthy Drive, we talk from the consumer's point of view. I want to flip the script one time and talk from the automobile dealer's point of view and what he's going through and why it's so important and so revolutionary. They have as tough a time, if not more, trying to figure out how to navigate this and offer stuff for sale in this changing world of mobility. We'll take a peek there. All that and our usual comments and from the peanut gallery, etc., here on RoadWorthy Drive, behind the scenes. Thank you for joining us, Jack. 11 minutes. Yes. Explore your Facebook camera.
Nope.
What? We're not there? Oh, okay. A link. Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay.
And I want one. That is, he just showed us a picture of the Volkswagen bus.
The all-new bus slated for 2022.
And it's going to be electric.
It is. And by that time, might be semi-autonomous.
Right, and I want one. And I want it decked out to be...
I hope it's not in that color.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're going to go full on retro. I want mine decked out to look like
I've actually driven a retro VW bus back in the day.
I want mine to be decked out and painted according to the Scooby-Doo bus.
Oh, mercy.
Oh, the Mystery Machine.
Yes!
Yeah, which was not a Volkswagen, by the way.
I don't care.
Whatever. People, this is what we're dealing with. Jack, 11 minutes?
11 minutes.
Okay, people, let's do it.
Here we go.
Do you want to go faster? Yeah!
It's RoadWorthy Drive with Ken Chester. Ken loves talking about cars and automotive trends. And here he is, the automotive host with the most, Ken Chester.
Welcome to another hour of RoadWorthy Drive. I'm your host for the hour, Ken Chester. So glad you decided to drop by. If you're a first-time listener, let me start by telling you that this is not your father's or grandfather's automotive talk show. We don't talk about repairs and maintenance. We don't talk about transmission repairs. We don't talk about engine hardware upgrades. But what we do talk about is the automotive news of consumer interest, tips and pointers to consider when selecting and evaluating your next vehicle, what you need to know about financing, what you should know about your trade-in and insurance. That is information you can use today. In addition, we talk about automotive technology, the current tech in your car now, and the impact and importance of the tech that is coming in the near future. I demystify terms and trade talk in a way you can understand. And if you care about how you will get from point A to point B today, tomorrow, and even perhaps a few years from now, this is the show you need to tune into. We even go a bit into the weeds for your benefit, like flying cars and autonomous semi-trucks and the like. Yeah, I talk about that too. But most importantly, you don't have to be a hardcore automotive type, geek, or techie to enjoy my talk show. Of course, it doesn't hurt if you are, but it's not required. For this hour, I'm going to talk about the best in green cars, ethics and statistics, accident rates, and autonomous vehicle programming. And finally, we get to view this changing marketplace from the eyes of the average car dealer. They're up against a tsunami of change. But first, adding your voice to the conversation is easy. Call or text me on the RoadWorthy Drive line. That number, 872-222-9793, and that's anytime. If you prefer email, my address is ken@roadworthydrive.com. Either way will connect you to me and the show. Now in studio, as always, are the other members of the RoadWorthy Drive crew. my friend and show executive producer, Jack at the controls, and our very own ray of sunshine, Sasha, holding it down on mic 2. Howdy, peoples.
Hello.
Hello.
You going to be all right, Sasha?
I mean, where do you get these adjectives that you decide to use?
All Trudeau. All Trudeau. Hey,
By the way, folks, he's trying to
light
score
mood.
brownie points, actually.
Whatever
Speaking
works,
of which,
brother.
I got a brownie.
Oh, yes, you did get a brownie.
Yes, you did. But you can't drive it, though.
No, you can't. Never mind.
That a boy. That a
Never mind.
boy.
Okay, Ken, get us to the part spin before I get us in trouble.
Okay. Another automaker
Okay.
who decided to expand the brand and from luxury, ultra luxury cars. How about a watch?
Not again.
Yeah, again. This
Okay.
time and I never get this right. Is it McLaren?
McLaren.
McLaren. And Richard Mille to produce their first ever limited edition timepiece. I'm going to let that sink in. With both firms reflecting the same values of luxury, cutting-edge technology, and excellence, the timepiece will incorporate design features from McLaren cars as well as lightweight technologies for a watch. Lightweight, yeah, of course.
Right.
Reflecting the brand's values while being both aesthetic and functional. Because God knows you don't want a watch that's not functional.
Well, I mean, technically, if you're somebody like me, I wear a watch and then it stops working. So,
Yeah, but you want a watch that's functional, otherwise you wouldn't wear it.
no, I wear it for fashion if it goes with my outfit.
What's the point?
It's there on my wrist.
Launched in 2010, McLaren Automotive is the largest of the 3 businesses that make up the McLaren Group. Richard Mille began offering its timepieces in 2001, marking the beginning of a new era in watchmaking. Basically, this is a whole new meaning of from 0 to 60.
No, give me my Timex. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm leaving that alone.
And by the way, can you still buy a Timex?
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know.
I have not seen, because I think now I see people with like Fossils or the smart watches, but
Or their cell phone.
or their cell phone.
That's what I use my cell phone for, is a watch.
Yep.
Okay, well, speaking of using your cell phone,
Yes, sir.
Buick wants to be your driving coach.
Now I need a driving coach.
Yes.
Really?
Have you seen the way he drives?
I have not. No.
Driving? No, I'm playing.
he better be playing because I know. Go on.
Okay. My Buick app was launched in 2016 to help Buick owners monitor their driving habits.
Okay.
Buick is now taking the next step with the introduction of Buick Smart Driver Services. As an owner, you can opt in and become a better driver by monitoring the following activities via the app, as if you didn't know. Hard acceleration and hard braking. Hey, just because I like to get away with a quickness doesn't mean I'm a bad driver.
Exactly.
Just saying. The hard braking, hey, it was a squirrel. It was the last minute.
Or the other thing that just scares me to death anymore.
Moosin.
No.
Oh. Deer.
Balls and young children.
Oh, I was about to say deer.
Well, that too.
As they say in this state, don't veer for deer. And as I say, are you going to pay for the repairs?
The answer to the second question is no. We've already been through that.
I know, but it doesn't hurt to ask.
I know.
Other things, high-speed driving percentage. Yeah, like anything below 80% fast. And I'm not sure what they mean by high speed.
Well,
Does that
my
mean over
question-
the speed limit
My
or
question
over
is,
65?
are they going to is this app going to allow you to go 5 over, 6 over?
The app is not taking control of the car. It's strictly...
No, I know that, but it's also keeping track of all that data.
Yeah, but hold that thought.
Okay.
Hold that thought. I'm going to get to there in a minute. It'll also tell you average miles per gallon and average miles per hour. Thing probably cost me, it'd probably blink in 3 places.
Yep.
Yeah, oh well. And it offers tips on how to become a smarter driver and give you an overall smart driver score. It's bad enough I had a hard time with math in school. Now I'm going to flunk my car?
It sounds like it.
That is sad. Originally introduced as a web-based service, more than 211,000 Buick drivers have enrolled. Wait a minute. There that many? Never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, I'm not.
Are you not?
I'm not.
Because
No, don't. They average over 700,000 trips a day. Here's the part you were wondering about, Jack.
Okay.
Buick owners can enroll, but not required, in the insurance discounts eligibility portion of the service, a risk-free way to see if their positive driving behavior, because now this app, you're now an awesome driver, would qualify for insurance discounts without revealing any personal details to the insurance companies.
Now, wait a minute.
That's what it says.
I realize
Straight from Buick.
that's what it says. However, how am I going to get this so-called discount off my insurance if they don't know who is actually being a safe driver?
You'd have to opt in for them to release the information.
I understand that.
If you choose not to opt in for the release, then they don't get it.
I'm talking about those people who decide to opt in.
How is that any different from the little blobble they put in the cars now?
Yeah, because isn't there one like Progressive will
There's
send
one
you some?
company that gives you one of those things, and that's exactly what that thing is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing that willingly. They're not making you do it as a term of insurance. You're doing it willingly because in your mind you figure you get a better deal. I mean, at some point there's some personal responsibility. You can't expect this to become the nanny state on the maybe that, oh, protect me from myself. No, if you opt in, you're making a choice. You don't like it, don't opt in.
Well, see, and I would never opt in.
Which is fine. Then, if there's any benefits, you may not be eligible for those benefits. That is a functional choice you're making.
Then I can start screaming discrimination.
Why? If these people,
it's a discriminatory practice.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I disagree with you,
I disagree with you.
and I'll tell you why. You choose to opt in to get a better rate, any more than insurance is. For years, if you were a single female under 25, you got a better insurance rate than a single male under 25.
Yep.
That, if you're going that way, that should be discriminatory.
Right off the bat.
As a young male who probably has a decent driving record in his business, but I'm getting penalized because of my gender only.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and this has been practiced for years.
Well,
So-
back in the day when I got my license, exactly what it was.
So my argument is, here you have a choice. You have a choice, okay? The difference is, and it's up to them how they want to do business. They're not saying every insurance company is this way. You don't like it? Find you an insurance company that will recognize
but
the way you
for
drive.
too long, we're not going to get a choice.
I disagree. I think you'll always have that choice.
No.
Because
I have to go check.
Yeah.
I may not even be owning a car, so it won't even be on me.
Yeah, but then you're going to be driving somebody else's car.
I won't be driving.
Oh, yeah, that's true too.
That's my whole point. Next up, people, green car choices in a carbon world. RoadWorthy Drive with Ken Chester is heard only on the RoadWorthy Drive radio network.
RoadWorthy Drive. Like us on Facebook.
Yeah, because, I mean, here's my thing. Yes, I think... Oh, hold on, that's mine. I think that Jack has a point that I think the last gist is going to be them saying, you know, because your car is going to be smart enough that they won't need to have, like, something that actually plugs in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're going to be able to read all that material
It's going to
anyway.
be. It's going to be connected to everything.
Right, because didn't you say that you're...
But here's the issue both of you tend to ignore. You're making an assumption that it's going to be a free-for-all on this information. That, number one, it's going to be a free-for-all. Number two, based on a free-for-all, I have no input whatsoever. Number three, I don't have the ability to opt in or opt out. All of that's not true. It's not true right now. OnStar's been around for 20 years. How much information do you think OnStar's got?
I don't think we'll ever know the amount of information.
Indeed,
That's right, yeah.
OnStar can stop your stolen cars. Somebody steals your car with OnStar, you call the cops, they locate the vehicle, and the cops can initiate what they call low-speed recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but there are rules. It's not just automatic. So this has been going on for a while. The point is, as consumers, we have a right to demand our privacy and security. Right now, there are laws on the books that protect us. That's why you get those little once-a-year things from your bank, your insurance company, and et cetera, saying this is your rights with respect to the data we collect from you and your hospital. And they give it to you in writing. You have the right to read it, you have the right to object, and you have the right to opt out. So until they tell me, until they pass a law that removes that, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. I'm not saying there's going to be some situations where it's been abused. But as far as wholesale, no. Also, again, I come back to that one point on insurance. Fine. I can understand where you would be concerned sharing your driving habits with the insurance company. Okay. You don't have to opt in. But by the same token, the people opting in are people most likely who are driving within them parameters and looking for a better deal. They're making a choice. The choice is in their control. When the choice is no longer in their control, then there's a problem. I mean, for example, we can even talk about real estate and redlining neighborhoods for years. And that was discriminatory because the people didn't have any choice. So, I'm not going to go all the way with you. Yeah, it's a concern. We agree on that.
Okay.
But my whole point is that as long as you can opt in or out, as long as you have the ability to opt in or out, then it's your choice. As long as the power resides with you, you let them know how much information you are comfortable with sharing. But also realize that they have the right in their business model. If I don't have that information, it's standard rates, whatever that is, based on what I get from the DMV.
Well, is it the DMV or is it crash data or is it all of it?
Well, DMV in terms of violations and stuff.
Well, yeah, true.
So, I mean, you're getting that. So,
Okay,
let
the
me
Ford
grab
commercial is next.
this. Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get caught up here.
This is what happens, everybody, when we start talking, and if you haven't figured out already, we've all agreed to disagree on some things.
No kidding.
What? Opinions between friends that differ? That cannot be a thing.
What?
Well, not only is it a thing, but we all basically learned growing up that, yes, we're all not going to always agree. But the one thing...
Wait a minute. Y'all don't agree with me 100% of the time, always?
I don't.
Shh. You're not supposed to tell him that.
Oh, dang it. That's right.
Just let
Supposed
the
to tell
cat
him.
completely out of the bag.
Wow.
Jack.
Oh, sorry.
Wow. That just busted my bubble, boy, I tell you. Anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
right. Hello.
Yeah. 9 minutes,
9 minutes.
and you've got that Ford.
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's party.
All right, here we go.
Today, there's a new word for modern in pickup truck design. It's Fordward. That's the way you'll go in new Ford trucks for 1959. Go Fordward in style in the all-new Ford Ranchero. It rides like a car. It works like a truck. For all its high style, it carries over half a ton. Go Fordward with power. Power in all four wheels. Ford's new four-wheel drive pickups give you traction enough for a 6-foot ditch or a 60% grade. They're yours at low Ford prices, too. Go Fordward for savings with one of 13 different Ford pickups to choose from for $59. See them now at your Ford dealer. You'll see the difference. You'll save the difference when you go Fordward in the new Ford trucks for $59.
Fordward. Okay. If you're just tuning in, this is RoadWorthy Drive with me, Ken Chester. Glad to have you with us, me and the RoadWorthy Drive crew. Y'all still with me?
Yep.
Okay, just checking. we get a little animated sometimes during the breaks. Green vehicles, otherwise known as clean vehicles. That is, those that don't use hydrocarbons or only partially use hydrocarbons, like a gasoline-electric hybrid. They're rated each year by an organization called the American Council for an Energy-Efficient Economy, otherwise known as the ACEEE. They just put out their annual list for greenest vehicles, which are currently available in the American marketplace. This is the 21st edition. They've been doing it for 21 years. This is their latest list. With the headline, Affordable Tech Marvels Dominate Greenest Vehicles List. Basically what they're saying, you don't have to spend over $40,000 to get something like a model Tesla S or to be green. And for the record, Kermit had it wrong. It is easy being green, or easier these days anyway. Yeah. What, you didn't get the Muppet reference? Oh, wow.
Now he's quoting the Muppets.
Yeah, yeah.
Lucky I didn't break out in Swedish Chef.
Right?
Jack's gotta look it up. Okay.
Hold the phone.
This is what happens when you give the executive position. When you give the executive producer internet access during the show.
That is called an executive producer having too much time on his hands yesterday.
And it doesn't matter that I'm driving a Volvo this week, right?
No.
Okay. All right. Number one on the list. Now, they have three lists, actually. What they call the greenest. Then they have one that's what they call greener choices that does not have. Well, let me go. The greenest list is the cleanest cars. They get a green score based on environmental damage index, which reflects cost to human health from air pollution associated with vehicle manufacturing, production and distribution of fuel, and vehicle tailpipes. Now, that's the greenest list. What they call the greener list includes that information, which also has, let me get this straight, it includes both conventional vehicles and traditional hybrids, but excludes plug-in hybrids and pure battery electric vehicles that require the availability of a charger to maximize efficiency. So, what do you think is the vehicle that scored the highest on the greenest list, the highest green score?
Toyota Prius.
No.
And it's not a Tesla.
No.
I have no idea.
Oh wait, is it one of those? Is it one of those smart cars? You know what I'm saying?
No.
That little two-seater.
Not number one. No.
Okay.
Hyundai iNig Electric, score 70.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. It's a whole line of cars that I've actually talked about on this show.
Okay.
That they've come out with hybrid, an electric. The pure electric is what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Second place is that Smart for 2 electric drive.
Okay.
Third place, BMW i3. This one will kill you. Fourth place, first time, Tesla Model 3 long range.
Wow.
But are most of these electric cars on this list?
Actually, what this is on this list for the third consecutive year, the greenest list is populated completely by vehicles with some form of electric powertrain and contains no vehicle with an internal combustion engine alone.
Okay, so it could be a hybrid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rounding this out, Kia Soul Electric number 5, Chevy Bolt EV, that's Bolt with a B, number 6, the Hyundai iNig Blue, that's the hybrid, Toyota Prius Eco, number 8, Ford Focus Electric, number 9, Kia Niro plug-in hybrid, that just came out last year, 10, Honda Clarity plug-in hybrid, which is new for 2018 and available in all 50 states, 11, and rounding it out with a score of 62, number 12, Chevy Volt with a V. Now, let's say you want to go greener, but not the greenest.
Okay.
12 cars. Top of the list, Toyota Camry Hybrid. Some other cars, here's one that is completely internal combustion, Toyota Yaris IA, Honda CR-V. You'll like this one, Jack. In number 10th place on the greener choices list, Chevrolet Colorado GMC Canyon Diesel.
Wow.
On the greenest list, number 11, greenest list, Ford F-150 base. And finally, rounding it out, and this is not the hybrid, in number 12, Chrysler Pacifica.
Oh.
The hybrid comes in a little bit below that, comes in a little higher than that, but because it was a plug-in, fell between the lists.
Okay.
So, now, the Chrysler Pacifica the hybrid would have scored another 9 points higher than the regular Pacifica. But remember, in number 12 is a greener choice the gas engine-powered Chrysler Pacifica made the list.
Wow.
Now, they've got a list called the meanest choices. These score the lowest. What would be the worst on their list?
Chevy HG.
No. Mercedes-Benz G550, the G-Wagon. But I'll tell you what, it may not be the greenest thing on the road, but if you're off-road and you are seriously off-road and you are serious about your off-roading, being serious, this is the vehicle you want to be driving.
Oh.
With 3 lockable differentials, high off the road, bulletproof engine that digs in deep. If you get stuck with this, ain't nothing coming for you.
Oh, yeah, I'd have to call the...
Ain't nothing.
I'd have to call the military and have them take one of the Chinooks and pull me out.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Because there ain't nothing on the planet that'll get you out of that. Rounding out that list is the Ram 1500 at number 7, the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, which is their performance one, at number 4, and rounding out the list, the Dodge Durango SRT. Cute stuff. When I return, the ethics of autonomous cars and accident statistics. Don't touch that dial. You're tuned to RoadWorthy Drive.
Go to RoadWorthyDrive.com to check out Ken's blog, listen to past shows, and the times when you can see the show on Facebook Live.
Yeah, rounding out the meanest, the top 3 are Mercedes-Benz, 2 are AMGs, and they're AMG variants, actually, of that G-Wagon. And the AMGs actually score higher than the base G-Wagon.
Really?
Yeah, not by much. But then the other ones, Toyota Sequoia, Toyota Tundra, Lexus LX570, Nissan Armada, another Mercedes-Benz, the GLS 63, Toyota Land Cruiser Wagon. These are huge animals. Now,
okay, you're telling me the Toyota pickup made that list.
this is the meanest list, not the greenest.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but you're telling me that...
Yes.
And to me, more of a F250, F350, a Chevy 2500, 3500.
Right, but also understand these are the worst. They're probably not in 3/4 ton. They're probably up to half ton.
Okay.
Because all of those make them. Pretty much everybody's.
Yeah, across
But
the board.
here's the thing you don't realize. Any vehicle with a GVW above 8,500 pounds doesn't qualify for fuel economy standards.
Yep.
So there'd be no way to measure that part of it in this.
Okay, now, my question to you is this. Any truck over 8,500 pounds, 420/25, aren't they going to have to meet some kind of fuel standard?
No, not yet. Still light duty. Heavy duty, they probably will, but that's in flux right now.
Yeah.
With the current administration, we're not sure which way they're going to go. But the light-duty trucks and the SUVs got it included as part of that 2012 agreement with the EPA. They had and they still have a slightly different calculation, which cuts them a break somewhat.
Okay.
I won't get into it because it's fairly complicated, but it has to do with weight and size and mileage, and it's different than a car. They get there differently. So,
Okay.
enough of that. But yeah, I thought you might find that interesting. But my point, how is Sergio and the boys at Fiat Chrysler going to survive past 2022, let alone 2025, if most of their money makers are on the meanest list? They're getting out of diesel, and their electric technology ain't that far along. How are they going to get there? That's my question. How are they going to get there?
Well, but let me ask you this. Don't you think that Sergio could possibly find something or somebody with some technology that nobody else is using?
No. Costs money, and he's playing catch-up. This is something he should have been in the weeds by 2015. This is not something you can just go, pow, because if everybody could do that, they'd wait.
Well, but again, I have to go back to what you said in previous shows. Maybe what Sergio's trying to do is wait for a Chinese company to step up. Get them into the United States market, get them a dealer network,
They're working with the Chinese company right now. They say, well, we're just providing technical support. Yeah, malarkey. Yeah, we use strong terms here on RoadWorthy Drive. Malarkey.
Bull hockey.
Bullpucky?
No, bull hockey.
Shenanigans on all of you.
Yeah, malarkey.
Okay.
I'm going to go with malarkey. We'll see. Right now, the only thing that makes sense to me in their world is you need an automaker that wants to come in the United States that has deep pockets to fix what's broken and needs the dealer network. In other words, they can hit the ground running rather than try to build it from scratch.
Yeah.
There's probably 10 years where a dealer network's still worth anything. Maybe 15. That's about it. Everything's changing. I keep talking about mosaic mobility.
Right.
And it really is a mosaic. It's not going to be all one way like it has been for the first 100 years. We've seen changes in the last 5. And if anything, it's going to accelerate. Things are going to get faster.
So you're thinking in 10, 15 years there will be no such thing as a dealer network?
I don't know that they'll completely disappear, but whatever it morphs into will be dramatically different, take way less real estate than they do now. And I think they actually adopt what I call the European model. We've got a small shop, a couple of samples, you go to a couple of computers, configure your vehicle, you got it in 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. That is for those of y'all still buying vehicles.
Yeah.
Again, mosaic. There's a lot of things coming at everybody. And we'll try to look at that in our last segment today from the dealer's point of view.
Okay.
But there's a lot coming, and there's no clear winner that it's going to be all this, or all that, or all this. We're seeing a lot of different things happen.
Okay, Sasha, you ready for 9 minutes?
For 9?
Yep. Hold on. Would help if I had the right page.
There you go.
He needs a script. I thought this was just a free flow of information.
I thought that this was
That's cute.
free flow. Yeah.
Said the man in the radio business for 27 years who knows better that every major show has a showrunner for him. Every single one.
What? That can't be a thing.
Ask him.
Tell him that's not a thing, Jack.
No, it is a thing.
Well,
There you go. See? I rest my case. 9 minutes, people, third segment.
9 minutes. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, hang on.
Welcome to the downhill side of this hour of RoadWorthy Drive. I'm Ken Chester. For those who want to learn more about the show or RoadWorthy Drive crew, check out the show website. That's RoadWorthyDrive.com. Listen to past shows, watch videos of our behind-the-scenes drama, and may I specify drama.
There is no drama.
Yeah, drama. In the RoadWorthy Drive studios, we prepare the show each week and more. Yeah, take 3 strong-willed, opinionated people, put them in the same studio, add a subject, stir vigorously.
This became a cooking show, why wasn't I told?
You were. That's what happens when you don't attend pre-production meetings.
Wait.
I am the pre-production meeting.
Exactly. I rest my case. The website is a great place to discover what we're doing across the universe of social media. Sasha is our own social diva and resident geek who keeps things interesting and entertaining between shows. See how she puts the social in social media. You'll be glad you did. Really, honestly. Right, Sasha?
Yes. They'll be so glad that they did.
Awesome. Okay.
And informed.
Yes, and entertained. And maybe even caused to think.
No.
Yes. Thinking's good.
Just a little bit?
It's healthy.
Okay.
In the development of self-driving vehicles, we trust normally as the public that the engineers and the programmers that write the code and work the math will determine what these vehicles do when they're actually in the wild, and that it will be to our benefit. But what if it isn't? Also, with all the standard safety equipment we've had in our vehicles over the last number of years, are fewer people dying as a result? I want to take a look. So I want to start with this title, Blame Game. Self-driving car crash highlights tricky legal question. First of all, the title is wrong. It is. Because number one, what you're talking about, a couple months ago when that Tesla hit that fire truck at 65 miles an hour on the highway in California.
Okay, I didn't know about this.
Oh, yeah. Back in January. Let me read it to you. Let's see. Let's get it this way. Not that one. But basically what happened, Tesla driver had it in autopilot, wasn't paying attention, was rumored to be traveling 65 miles an hour before the crash, not sure how much the vehicle may have slowed before it hit it, crinkled that car right up to the firewall.
Wow.
Driver got out. They said you should get treatment because of the severity of the crash, said he didn't need any, and appeared to look fine. Tesla contends, as always, that autopilot should only be used, intended for use only, I quote, this is Tesla's words, with a fully attentive driver.
You and I both know that if something's in air quotes here, people, autopilot,
Right.
you ain't going to be paying attention all the time.
Let me break this down. It ain't full autonomous.
I get it.
He's
So
saying
many people
the
want-
name creates false sense
Yes,
of security.
yes, it does. I'll go further with you. This week, and regular listeners know that I get vehicles to review every week. This week, I have a brand new 2018 Volvo S90. I love that car. Turbocharged, supercharged, four-cylinder, goes like the wind. My first car ever with semi-autonomous features.
And it's driving you crazy.
Car ain't quite ready for prime time.
Okay.
I was coming up the road. I engaged it. It didn't like the corner. Kind of cornered a little wide. Yeah. I'm like, okay, you ain't ready yet. Meanwhile, straights and modest corners did fine. I said, well, let's see what happens. Let's see how this is engineered. Took my hands off the wheel. Car did okay for about 45 seconds. Then it dinged at me. And when I didn't respond, it turned the radio down. And when I didn't respond, it disengaged everything. Cruise control, its semi-autonomous features, everything. That was interesting.
And if you were not paying attention, you were going to be either in a ditch, hitting something, or all of the above.
Given that Volvo pledged nobody would die in their cars by 2020, and that's less than 2 years away.
2 years away.
Being that it's a Volvo, I am very sure that vehicle with pedestrian protection, forward collision mitigation, and a whole host of other safety features would have come to a stop long before anything bad happened.
Yeah, because it makes me curious. What would have happened if you would have continued? What would have happened if you would have continued to be unresponsive as the driver? Would the car would have slowly, and again, almost like a, I don't want to use the term like self-parking, but similar to
It
that?
has the ability, that particular car has the ability to self-park.
Okay.
Also, it has lane change mitigation.
Right. So
Go ahead.
I'm wondering, would the car then realize that the driver was not responding to the 3 different warnings that it gave, and then pull the car over to like if it could register the shoulder in quotations, and then put the car like in park?
Number one, this car has lane change mitigation.
Right.
It's not going to wander out of its lane even without me responding. So worst case, this is me speculating because trust me, folks, I have not tested it to this level. Okay, did not want to get killed by an 18-wheeler rear-ending me. So, from what I've read, where the tech is going, it would probably set the flashers, pull over, and stop.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah,
They would
that would be where it's going now.
But
Whether
it's
this,
not available now.
I don't know that. I have not read the owner's manual, and I didn't take it to that conclusion.
Okay.
If I did that, I'd sure want to do it in a controlled situation.
Well, yeah, because you were saying that it didn't like that whatever corner you were trying to take, and it wanted to take it a little bit wide. So I was curious about that.
Which surprised me a little too.
I've got his controlled situation for him.
Yes.
Iowa Speedway.
No, I've been out there. I would rather have a straight flat road.
I know a straight flat road.
I bet you do. But before we get into all of that, really quickly, so we've got all of that going on, and then we haven't even talked about the Chevy Bolt with a B that hit a motorcyclist. Went to change lanes, realized it couldn't, came back into the lane, clipped the motorcycle driver.
Oh no!
He's fine.
Oh.
It was 12 miles an hour. Don't lose your cool, people.
Dude, I do another syndicated show that is about motorcycles. They have now become very near and dear to my heart, and I've seen some really bad things.
Ugly things.
Yeah, ugly things.
Yeah, and I will also tell you, we've done motorcycle statistics here. 60% of the motorcycle accidents that occur involve a vehicle and a motorcycle.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, short of the motorcycle with escaped orangutans?
No. People turning in front of a motorcycle, motorcycle hitting a car,
Right.
things like that.
The one that I actually saw on my street when I was growing up as a kid, motorcyclist laid it down because he didn't think the guy coming the other way was going to stop.
Yeah. I wanted to get to these statistics. I might in the next segment before we get there because I do want to read them. So when I come back, we will complete the statistics and then talk about automobile dealers in this brave new world. And you think you had it rough. This is RoadWorthy Drive.
RoadWorthyDrive.com is the place to keep up with the latest happenings with Ken and the show.
Jack, I think we pirated his show, his segment again.
I think we did.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing was about, statistics and...
No, not totally.
I mean,
that
ethics
was the last part of it.
statistics.
Or my personal favorite. People keep confusing their Teslas for self-driving cars.
Geez, I wonder why.
We are entering a dangerous period in the development of self-driving cars. Today, you can buy a Cadillac, Volvo, Tesla, Audi, and even a Nissan that will do some of the driving for you. Wait for it, as long as you stay on top of things. That's the problem. People get lulled into a sense of security on a long highway. Maybe they doze off because the vehicle's in its lane and it's running down the road. I can see that. Word for you. Interstate 80, west of Kearney, Nebraska.
Flat.
Straight.
Yep. Now, is that before or after the restaurant over the interstate? I don't know whether it's a restaurant now or not.
I didn't remember seeing a restaurant over the interstate in Nebraska.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's something there that is over the interstate.
It would have to be just outside of Omaha.
No, it's out, way outside of Lincoln.
I remember that there was a Happy Chef out there.
Well, it's been many years since I've made that trip, like 20.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Happy Chef is there. That's why I was going to ask you, how far back are you thinking?
No, well, let's see. It would have been not 09.
Yeah, see, I had already moved out by then, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is give me a home with a buffalo roam, the deer and the antelope play.
That would be Wyoming.
No, that would be west of Kearney.
They don't have antelope.
Huh. How do you know?
Because I've been out there.
So have I.
And did you see any antelope?
Wasn't trying to. Because if you get out there and break down, you're going to be living out there.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing out there.
That's how they got most of their
Well, wait a minute.
That's my point. Thank you. That's my
Kearney.
point.
Kearney's on 80.
Yes.
Okay.
Very
And
much
Kearney's
so.
the one that has the Apple Festival.
The reason why I know Kearney, in a previous life, used to be a General Telephone and Electronics Exchange for the company I worked for, General Telephone in the Midwest.
Yep.
And I flew into Kearney in 1981.
No, there was no planes that went out there. That's no.
We chartered a plane.
You might have charted like a matchbox that kind of floated on the wind current and glided onto a field.
There's an airport there.
Okay.
Military base.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Is it Lincoln, Kearney, Grand Island?
No.
Or is it
Lincoln, Grand Island, Kearney?
Got it. I get those two confused.
Then it's North Platte.
Yep.
And wait for it, Ocala.
Oh,
And then if you come up over the hill and head into on 76, heading into Denver, Julesburg, then Sterling.
Now, Sterling, I know because I've spent several nights in Sterling.
I like Sterling. Burlington Northern has a north-south railroad right through the center of town.
Yep.
And it all comes back to trains.
Yeah. Folks, I love trains for I love cars. What can I tell you? Okay, are we...
We're ready.
Where are we? We are...
We're
Singapore
in Des Moines.
850.
Yeah, hold on.
Radio station
Yes.
on the second floor.
No, we're actually on the third floor.
Third floor, yes.
It's okay, son.
Do you count the basement as an actual floor?
Well, we did that. We're on the fourth floor.
Ah,
Now, if you look out our window behind us,
right,
if you look down, yes, we're on the fourth floor.
right,
From the street level out front of this building,
right.
we're actually on the third floor.
The third floor, yeah.
Because the fourth floor is, or the basement, or I'm sorry, the lower level is underground.
Ah,
And it's basically, if you're looking at a house, this would basically be a walkout.
right. Okay.
So,
Okay, people.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I am as ready as I'll ever be.
Okay.
8:50.
8 minutes, 50 seconds.
Yep. Last
Here we,
segment.
here we go.
We're winding down with this last installment for this hour of RoadWorthy Drive. I'm Ken Chester, your host. Now, we didn't get a chance to get to, and I do want to touch base on, fatality statistics. With all this technology, and I'm not trying to be morbid here, but you would think with all this technology, particularly since 2011 when the National Highway Traffic Safety Board, Administration, specified traction control, stability control, side impact airbags were all added as standard equipment starting with 2011 models. So, and then there's been more on top of that that the automakers have added in the way of safety. Some that will be required in the years to come, some that have just been developed as a suite of electronic safety warning and mitigation features.
Didn't we just have a couple that just became, they have to be standard equipment now?
Automatic emergency braking is going to be standard by the NTSB. I'm sorry. I'm thinking National Traffic Safety Board, and I actually mean the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, by 2022.
Okay.
Rear view cameras will be required standard by May of this year, 2018.
Okay.
So we do have some of that has to be standard coming. A lot of it's been coming. Usually automakers don't wait. They start incorporating that with each time they revise or update a vehicle. They'll add that equipment. It's cheaper that way than to just do it, boom, out of nowhere.
Okay.
They plan for it.
No, so we don't run out of time.
We
What
always
do the statistics say? Or has it increased or decreased?
I'll put it to you like this. As a percentage of death overall, from all causes, from everything,
Okay.
road fatalities only represent 1.3% of all death from any type of death in the country. Okay? Now, as far as road crashes, average in the United States, 10.9 fatalities per 100,000 population. How does that differ? I'm going to tell you by state roughly, really quick. The highest per 100,000, state of Wyoming. 24.7 deaths per 100,000 population. Road crash cause of death.
What is the number one cause of road crash in Wyoming?
They don't say.
Okay.
They're just talking about, they're just measuring fatalities due to road crash. The lowest, District of Columbia, 3.4.
That doesn't even seem possible with as
But
busy
it-
that town is.
Yeah, well, 5 states with the highest rates, Wyoming, Mississippi, Montana, South Carolina, and Arkansas. By comparison, the 5 states with the lowest rates, District of Columbia, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and believe it or not, New York, and New Jersey. Yeah. Freaked me out, too. But I wanted to cover that really quick in the time we had. I thought it was worth talking about. That
was interesting.
Yeah, well, that was the whole point. I wanted to cover that just a little bit. Basically, that works out to about 40,000 people a year still, which is still too high, even though the mileage has increased, population has increased, but the number of deaths have not increased, although it is low compared to death overall, cost of death. Okay, really quick. Talking about dealers. If you were a car dealer in this crazy world, knowing that mobility is a thing, mobility is going to impact your dealership in ways because your main way of making money is selling new and used cars and parts to run those cars and repairing those cars. But online interaction, people want to interact online. I'm old school. I like walking into the dealership. You know, now granted, I'm like in quite a number of people who started their research online. In fact, 63% of consumers initiated their car purchase online. I could say that for the research that I did. I did it online, but when we concluded it, we did it at the dealership. To me, there's nothing more important than touching the iron, checking it out, sitting in the vehicle, driving the vehicle if at all possible. I don't know how people do that without that. But that's just one of the main things going on. Other things to think about, with all these changes, they talk about all the changes. I'm not even going to get into all of them. Online sales, and online service, and shopping online, and mobility choices. They said these changes present both a great risk and opportunity for the industry as a whole. They expect the value pool of all this different stuff to grow from $6.6 trillion by 2030 from $3.5 trillion now. They expect that the traditional way of doing things, the way that cars are designed, manufactured, bought, and sold, and their business models are expected to decline 98% of the market today to just 50% by 2030. Folks, that's a little more than 12 years from now. I'm going to let that sink in. Here's something else. As a dealer, would you believe that a recent study by McKinsey found that 86% of consumers would switch vehicles to get some form of advanced driver assistance system, and 37% would switch to another manufacturer if they were the only one offering a vehicle with full access to applications, data, and media. People want more. Data is the new hardware. Used to be you could sell a car based on horsepower, performance, and everything. Right now, what they're saying and what the surveys are giving people an idea, it's my ability to download, manipulate, absorb, and receive data in my vehicle. Whether it's talking to Alexa at home, talking to Alexa from home to my vehicle, or to Alexa from my vehicle to home. And a whole host of other things that we talked about earlier. But still, that's not all. They talked about car connectivity, which is real right now, as a $450 billion business by 2030. All kinds of things going on. And here's the scary part. If you're a manufacturer, they did a survey of 60 original equipment manufacturer executives. 58% of the executives surveyed indicated they did not have a clear understanding of the benefits customers were looking for, which underscores the need to first define a vision. And if you're a dealer, you have a problem because you're caught in the middle. The dealers need to focus on communicating connectivity's consumer benefits in an engaging way while opening a direct dialogue with the manufacturers as their future role of customers' contact point. So the dealers are caught in the middle. Now more than ever before. It's a changing world out there, and we'll keep talking about it. We've come to an end of another hour together, folks. Be sure to tune in next week at the same time so we can do it all over again. On behalf of the RoadWorthy Drive crew, thanks for listening. This has been RoadWorthy Drive with Ken Chester.
RoadWorthy Drive with Ken Chester is a copyrighted presentation of the RoadWorthy Drive Radio Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use is prohibited without the written consent of the Motor News Media Corporation.
So before we leave, the big question with regard to being an automotive dealer, new or used, in this world, in the next 10 years, is how you're going to make your money. If the individual ownership model is no longer sustainable, and that's how you're making your money, selling, buying, trading, repairing, and selling parts for cars owned by individuals, will you get into something like Ford's Canvas? Will you get into how Ford's approaching mobility? Is there a piece in there for the dealers? What are the other manufacturers going to do? It's going to be interesting to find out how that changes, because how that changes will impact those of us who still want to own a vehicle and what our choices will be. Food for thought. On behalf of the RoadWorthy Drive crew, this wraps up another of our RoadWorthy Drive behind the scenes. For Jack, Sasha, and myself, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.